it's easy for people to see where I've come from and be like, she's made it. Child, I still have so much more work to do. Like, I'm just getting started. Like, at this moment when we're talking, I'm only on episode 25 of my TV show, and I'm only on 5 radio stations. But there are people that have done so much more, and there's people that I look up to that are doing so much more. I'm definitely very proud of where I came from. So proud is definitely a feeling that I am, but also it's, okay, I'm here, I'm happy, but I still have so much more to do. I think the process was just kind of going through it blindly, but with faith. It's like, man, I just feel like if I just keep going, something's gonna happen. I remember I was talking to Travis Thompson and I was like, man, at one point I just felt like if this doesn't work, manifestation does not work. Like, everyone feels like manifestation is just creating some vision board and then it's sticking it on your wall and it's gonna happen. It really doesn't work that way. Like, it's really creating the vision board, creating the goal, creating the action steps, and then doing those action steps. And then at some point, with you also having the faith that you're gonna get to where you wanna be and putting in the work and constantly improving, you end up getting there. So I'm not gonna hold you. At one point, I was like, this is taking so long. If this does not work, this manifestation thing is crap and me and Oprah need to talk, okay? But it ended up working over time, you know? I really did get my start in, you know, radio by doing street team stuff, but I actually started my first blog in 2008, right after high school. And so that's really kind of how I got my start. Like, I would be up sometimes until 5 in the morning blogging because I would start seeing like different blogs, getting certain amounts of like views, and I'm like, well, if I start writing about this, or if I do this many posts a day, that means that I have this many options to actually be seen. I think balancing is kind of like a hard way to put it because it can be a lot on both fronts. But I think the best thing that I was able to do for myself to create a little bit more of a balance is to blend the two. You know, it's not like I'm over here being a lawyer in one instance and a radio host in the other instance. I'm doing media on both sides. So I was able to find a way for both companies to come together and actually have like somewhat of a happy marriage. For example, I just ended up going down to Sacramento for V101.1's Holiday Jam because I'm on in Sacramento on Sundays, which is an iHeartRadio station. Well, Converge came down there with me and they were able to video what I was doing down there, which is not only content for iHeart, it's content for Converge, and it's content for my Fox TV show. So at first it was a little hard, I'm not gonna hold you, because, you know, I'm doing this over there and this that's over there can't go over there. You know, my camera guy wants to come with me and take photos with me here, and they're kind of like, I don't really know. But once I finally sat down and had that conversation and brought both companies together to where both of them can see, honestly, we can both win here. Like, we can both get something out of this if we both find a way to marriage this. And that's honestly been the way that I've been able to kind of balance out the two, to where it's like, okay, I have my show on Fox that's produced by Converge, but I still might actually record the show over at iHeart, or vice versa. And so I would say marrying the two companies is the best thing I could have done for myself, because for a while it was definitely a little difficult. I think if there's someone that wants to get in radio, what I would say is, what you kind of have to realize is that it's all about who you know and who knows you. Like, it's not enough for you to know someone. Like, they have to know that you exist also. And so nowadays, street teams aren't really around, you know, especially after COVID. So what you actually really have to do is be willing to go to these different networking events. And you have to be willing to not just be in the room and soak in the game. Like, when someone gets off stage, go up to them and talk to them, because they don't know that you're in the room. You're just like another face. So I would say with getting in radio, if it's a passion of yours and you know that that's something that you really want to do, get in these rooms and meet these people so that way they finally know you exist. I think when I just did radio, especially when I only had one radio show, it wasn't that hard at all, you know? You go to work, You do your show, you go home, you can do whatever you want. You know, I could sleep in till 1 o'clock in the afternoon if I wanted to. I didn't have any weekend shifts, so I could go out, go to the clubs, hang out with my friends. I can go shopping, get my nails done. I could literally do whatever I wanted. I could go on dates, like I used to live on Tinder and on Bumble and all the things. Nowadays, with being on 5 radio stations, having a TV show on Fox, and then also having digital responsibilities here at Converge, it's wild. Like, I feel like my life is my media life. Like, in this day and age, it's truly been a challenge to find time for not only myself, but even seeing my family. She might answer, she might not answer, or we're gonna invite her. She might be able to make it, she might not be able to make it. And you know, there's been some friends that at certain points I felt like I lost, but it wasn't that I lost their friendship, it's just that they know that I'm busy and I'm recording, or just recording in different types of ways. I think for me, it's been finding these weird little ways to have time for myself. Like, I barely even have time to get my nails done these days. Like, it's hard. Like, I have a stylist now because I really don't have time to go shopping anymore. Not that I don't want to, it's time consuming for me to do it and figure out what I can get, you know, and so it's honestly been a challenge. And I think that when people want quote unquote success, because if you ask me, success is relative. Like for me, I feel like I'm doing what I want and I'm moving towards my goal, but this isn't success. Like I still have more things to do, but either who, I think when people want success, they have to realize that you end up having less free time, and it becomes a little bit harder to find that time to go to the gym or, you know, take a nap or spend time with your family, especially like even like your kids. Don't let them be little and you're like working all the time, you know what I mean? So finding that work balance, I'm not gonna hold you, it's been hard, but every once in a while I have my moment. I think what people don't realize about content creation is that, say you make like 5 videos a day, right? And you do that for 3 months straight. And then all of a sudden, 1 month you make 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, and then you think that you're just gonna start making 5 videos a day again. You've lost and confused your audience. Like, I think people don't realize that that consistency, it becomes what someone expects you to do. You know, in radio, we call it setting appointments, you know? Like, you have to continuously set that appointment so people know, okay, every Monday this person's going to do this, or, you know, at my TV show, every Saturday it's on Fox 13 at 10:30 p.m. I have people that watch the replay, they're like, look, I don't care what's going on, every Sunday, 10 a.m., I'm watching Fox 13 Plus because that's when Back to Besa comes on. If the show was coming on all willy-nilly, I wouldn't have the same viewership, nor would it grow, because it's hard for them to tell their friends when to tune in or when to check it out. So it's important to, one, make sure that you're making content consistently, but also make sure that your content has an ebb and flow to where things just kind of aren't all over the place, because then you confuse your audience and they don't really know what to expect from you, and then eventually they might not even know why they're following you again. I remember the actual day, like that day, it was in February of 2023. And at Converge, we were doing Black Business Spotlights because it was Black History Month. And so Amari had hit me and he was like, hey, we need like a Black business for today. He was like, is your cousin like at the restaurant? My cousin is actually Red, who owns Little Reds. And so I was like, I don't know, he should be, I'll hit him. So he's like, all right, I'll be there that day, and da-da-da-da. So the team pulls up, they shoot Little Reds, and then once the shoot is over, Omari calls me and he's like, yo, I got some news for you, kid. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you're going to the big leagues. He was like, I'll tell you later. And I was like, okay. So he ends up coming by and he tells me what's going on, and I was like, how ironic is it that you went to my cousin's restaurant and on the same day you get this phone call that I have an opportunity to have my own TV show on Fox 13. I think it's still, at least in this very moment right now, a surreal thing, but at the same time it's kind of not a surreal thing. I think it kind of reminds me of when I got in radio and everybody was like, you're gonna have to leave Seattle to get in radio. You're gonna have to go to like a small town. You're gonna have to go you know, somewhere like, and it's no shade, but like Yakima or whatever have you. You're gonna have to go to like and when I say like not like small, I just mean like Seattle's like a 12 market, you know what I mean? So like you're gonna have to go to like a market that's not as high in the ranks. And I was like, why would I have to do that? I'm from here, this is my home. That doesn't make any sense. And so with TV, it's like, oh, you're gonna have to go into a smaller market. You know, a lot of people move to Alabama, they go to Kansas, you know, they go to these little towns. And I was like, I don't want to. It's still surreal at times, but I think it's more so surreal because I'd been told so many times that I would actually have to leave. And I kept telling everybody, I don't have to go anywhere. Like, I didn't have to go anywhere for radio. Why would I have to go anywhere for TV? And I didn't. What I can see is younger Black women that actually want to be in the same field seeing, yo, man, like she's from the CD just like me. Why can't I do it? Like if she was able to be on the street team for a whole year or so, carrying tents, working outside, and then somehow she was able to make her way on in there, why can't I do it? Like, my story really isn't that complicated. It's not like, you know, I had to bribe or pay someone. Like, I literally was on the street team, knocked on a window and asked, how do I get on Q93? And they was like, well, that was bold. And that's how it went. Like, I honestly haven't actually applied for any of the media jobs that I've had. I didn't apply for Cube. I didn't apply for any of the additional radio stations that I was on. I didn't necessarily apply to be on Fox. It's people that, or even Converge, I didn't apply. Like, it's people that have seen what I've done and they're like, she's dope. I want to highlight her. I want her to be a part of the team. You know, I love her work ethic. I love what she can bring to the table. And I think that if anyone has actually watched my journey over the year, if there's anything that I would hope that they're taking from it is, child, just keep going. Because if you stop, no one's gonna see you. One, have a clear vision of what you wanna do. And two, frankly, have the balls to be able to do what you need to get to it. And also, kind of be able to put your pride aside. Know what you want to do and be willing to do the things that nobody else wants to do in order to get your foot in the door, especially if the door is not necessarily open yet. Because like I said, I had to knock on the window to actually get this going.